Hey guys, so I'm going to answer all of the things from the many weeks that I've not made a video first. Mark, that video that you made with you and all of the baby pictures, you can totally tell which one is you out of the two of you, and that video is so cute. Also, there's one video of your family on a beach and there's like white bars and then the beach behind you. Do you by any chance know if that beach is Cleethorpes? Because I'm sure that I recognise it. It might not be Cleethorpes, but that's where me and my mum have gone quite a few times on camping holidays to the seaside. And it looks really similar. So you're either in a really similar seaside town, village, or you're in Cleethorpes. But I looked at it, I was like, I'm sure I've done a bike ride along there. Because me and my mum used to go there so much when I was little. And we hired out bikes once and rode from like where the campsite was all the way through into the little village. Bought an ice cream and then cycled all the way back, and it's the one that's got the Greenwich Mean Time 0 line on it, and I was stood on it and I have a picture, so yeah, I don't know if any of that's helpful and if you know where I mean, or if that's even where you were, but it looks similar. Also, you mentioned about The Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy. I love that film, and you weren't talking about it in any kind of context relative, but I like that film. And films in the style of that, I also have read the books, and the books are very similar to the way that the films the attitudes in the film are similar to those in the books. And yeah, I really like that kind of, I don't know, I don't even know how to explain it, but the kind of way that it's expressed and the opinions that the characters have and the way that they the mentalities that they have. I like it, it's funny. You said about making tea and how your mum had lessons. I think the British people just kind of know that, like a tea bag for every person. Although I didn't know that you had one for the pot. Although, no, I did, because whenever I make tea, I have a tea bag for me and then another tea bag. So that would be one for me and one for the pot. But I just do that. So, yeah, that's weird. And I always take the teapot to the kettle. I never take the kettle to the teapot. But that's just from ease, because otherwise I'd be carrying a boiling hot thing and that's just stupid. Because I'm clumsy. Oh, yeah, I read that. I did a thing, can you remember the other day, the other month when you, Mark, you had a list and you were like, I don't even know what this means. I just had that moment, but I totally know what it means. I put know what you mean about topics and like the topics that we speak about on this channel, and I totally know what you mean. Like there are some things that you either don't want to put on the internet because it's just inappropriate, but you would talk, like I would talk to you about certain things, like we have been on Facebook like chatting about certain stuff that I wouldn't put up on here, but like it's not because I wouldn't tell you guys, it's because I wouldn't want it to be on the internet. Which is weird, because chances are only you guys and people that already know loads about us anyway are going to watch this. It's weird, but yeah, I totally know what you mean. Yeah, and the song that you made was awesome, as per, you always make funny little songs. And you mentioned Doctor Who, which reminded me that it's the 50th anniversary of Doctor Who this year. Don't know if any of you guys care, but I do. But I'm really annoyed that the way that they're celebrating it is like making a 3D episode of Doctor Who. And it's like, out of all the ways you could celebrate, I don't have a 3D telly, I don't want to watch telly with glasses on, because I already do that anyway every day, because I normally wear these, but I don't wear them for videos because they look silly, and you can see my reflection of the camera and it's just distracting. And so why would they do that? Like, I don't get it. Like, why don't they just put more money into making the TV show more amazing, rather than putting money into making it 3D for a one-off episode, when they could just improve the kind of stuff that they do in the episode, because not everyone's going to be able to have it accessible if it's in 3D anyway, whereas everyone's going to be able to access it if they put more money into the filming and the sets and all of that kind of stuff. I don't really understand it. But tell me what you guys think. I mean, I guess if I had a 3D telly, that would make it really cool. But it's kind of limiting the audience that are gonna be taking advantage of the money that they're spending on it, which confuses me. Yeah, that was my little rant for today. Adam, you said about us remaking Juno. I'll just stuff some pillows up my jumper and pretend to be pregnant. I'm well good at that. Also, I don't know the girl's name off the top of my head. I've totally forgotten it right now. But I would totally want to look like her. I could totally be her. Also, this reminds me of a game that I really want to buy, but I can't because I don't think it's for Xbox. Beyond Two Souls looks amazing. I don't know if you guys... I don't think we really talk about, like, video games very often on here. Oh no, Adam, you do. But yeah, anyway. So yeah, like, it looks really good, and they've had the actress from Juno, why can't I remember her name? And she's been, like, dotted, like Andy blah 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 playing Gollum has all the dots, the motion sensor dots. They had her with all of those, and she's actually acted out every single scene in the film, in the movie. Game, not either of the other words. And so it's literally like every scene you watch in the game isn't computerized. Well, it is computerized, but it's based on her moving, and they've acted it out, and like every single person in it is a real person, and it looks like her, and it's really cool. And it's all been green screened, obviously, and then they've just put everything else in. But it's just a really interesting way of doing it, and they've made it look really, really interesting. Like, it's like watching a film. It's done by the same guy that did Heavy Rain, which I also have not played yet, but really, really wanted to play, but I can't because I don't have a PS, which is annoying. I also wouldn't have the time, but still, it's annoying, and I want to have a really good friend that will just let me sit and watch them play it, because I like doing that with games. Do you guys like doing that with games, or is that just me being really strange? Like, if a game has a really good storyline, just not minding not actually playing and just watching someone else so you can read the storyline. Yeah, I do that a lot, surprisingly. Adam, you also put about the Lumineers. We have one of their songs in like the top 40 at the minute in England. Cannot for the life of me remember. No, it's gone. It's gone. I posted it up on my Facebook wall like a couple of weeks ago. Yeah, they're really good. And I know what you mean. Some of the songs kind of just... It's just... They have like 3 songs that just all sound like the same song. And then some songs that are just like, oh my god, you hear it and you're like, yes, this is an amazing song. And other songs that you're just like, isn't that a song that they already made, but with different lyrics? So yeah, I know what you mean. But, you know, they have some good songs. So that's good, I guess. Also, I have a little map for you to show you how far away I am from... this is where I live. This is the UK, just in case you guys didn't know. And then this is Lincoln, which is where I live. And then London is down here, and it's 141 miles away. That's also for Alsif, for when you come over to England, so you know how far away I am. So it's like a long way. It's like 3 hours on the train, or yeah, like 2 hours and 40 minutes or something. So it's not too far in terms, I'm guessing America and Canada terms, that's like nothing to you guys. But for us, that's like the length of our country, nearly. So yeah, because like Scotland starts there, so it's nearly the length of the country away. But like, yeah, it's cool. If you buy your tickets far enough in advance, then it's okay, but I would have to make like a special occasion to go to a kind of theatre, like you were talking about the National Theatre. Yeah. But like, obviously there are other theatres dotted around everywhere, like Nottingham, which is quite close to me, and stuff like that. But Lincoln itself has like no theatres. It's really rubbish. Which makes me sad, because when I was doing my A-levels and younger than that, I always used to love the theatre. I used to love going, I used to love performing, I used to love like doing stage management and working behind the scenes, and now I don't get any of that, which is really sad, because that was a massive part of my life for a really long time, and now it's just disappeared, which is a bit gay, but you know. I don't even want to say your name anymore, because Mark always tells me off. Well, he didn't tell me off. We had a conversation and he laughed at me because I spelt your name the way that I say it, and I say Alsif, and apparently that's wrong, and apparently I spell it even worse wrong. So I'm gonna say Alsi? I'm gonna say Alsi. Sorry, can you just say your name again so that I know exactly how to say it, and then I won't offend you if ever I say your name. You are probably better at English than me, because, like, yeah, grammatically speaking, you probably would be a lot better than me at English. I'm rubbish at it. I just speak it because I know which words are supposed to be meaning certain things. But even then, sometimes I make mistakes. Like, at Christmas, I turned around to my mum, and instead of saying, "Can you pass me the scissors?" I was like, "Oh, Mum, can you pass me the trousers?" That wasn't the right word, and I don't know where it came from. So, yeah, you probably are better at English than me. Mel, I hope that your burns get better. That sounds horrendous. What did you do? Was it just from the heat, like being near the glory hole? Or was it like, did you smash it on you? Or, yeah, that's the question. Also, you said about forgetting what you're doing. I'm very good at that. I always do that thing where you walk into a room and you're like, I don't know why I'm in here. And then you go and do something and then you leave the room and you're like, oh crap, I was meant to be doing this thing when I went downstairs. I do that so often, it's really bad. And also, on your last video, I was reading the comments and Adam said about wanting to know what you thought about the Hunger Games, and I do too, because I've read all of the books. I read all the books in like a week. I just sat and read them constantly. And I've also seen the film, and I agree with Adam. I have very mixed feelings about certain aspects of like themes within the book, and then the way that the book was translated into film as well. Like some of the things that they missed out. Some of them I just don't understand why. And it's like in Harry Potter. Like I can understand why they kind of didn't give Dobby his little storyline, because that was a big thing to put in. Whereas in Hunger Games there were certain little bits, and I was like, I don't understand why you've not put that in, because later on that's really important, and it would have taken the same amount of time to tell the story the way it was in the book, as opposed to just kind of telling a different story that doesn't fit with anything. It just confused me. If someone could find the answers to my questions, that'd be great, because I just don't get it. I don't understand if it wouldn't take more time, it wouldn't take more energy, it wouldn't detract from another storyline that was going on. But yeah, also, I understand what you mean about hipsters, like about how I have very hipstery qualities as well. Like, I'm less likely to go and see something if every single person I know has been and seen it and told me how amazing it is. Like, for example, this is a really stupid example, but 50 Shades of Grey, everyone was like, oh my god, it's amazing, it's amazing, it's amazing. And I was like, I don't want to read it. And I read like a chapter, just so that I would not be like, oh, well, I don't want to read it, and I haven't read any of it. Like, I read a chapter and I was like, okay, now I understand why I don't want to read it. I don't get why everyone else is so hyped up about it. But even with things that are good, like the Hunger Games, a lot of people were like raving about it, and I was like, you're gonna make it, you're changing the way that I feel about it before I've even seen it, because you're so excited. I feel like I should be really excited, and then if it's not as good as I think it's going to be, I'm going to be really disappointed, and it's not even my own excitement. So stop it. I don't know if that's where you were meaning, like with the rest of it, but I usually get more disappointed if something's been really raved about, because I think it's going to be better than it is, or I have higher expectations, and because they went in with low expectations, or they didn't have expectations of it and then realised how good it was, then it's different from going in with really high expectations and then it not meeting them. Although sometimes it does meet them, which is good. I like it when that happens. Like The Hobbit, for me, met all my expectations, which was great because I was really excited about that. But that was my own excitement, not someone else's excitement, so maybe that's different. Have anyone else seen The Hobbit yet? Have we spoken about this? I feel like we have, but I don't think we have. Yeah, what did you think if you've seen it? Or are you excited about seeing it? Or do you not care? Tell me your opinion. I also wanted to mention, this is my last thing. I'm actually getting out of breath because I got so excited about The Hobbit. I've started up a little candle shop online on Etsy, so you guys can have a look at it down below. I obviously don't expect you guys to buy stuff because the postage is insane to America and Canada and maybe not Iceland. I sent a thing to a guy from Belgium, but anyway, it's not so that you guys can like buy stuff, it's just so you can have a look and tell me if you can think of any ways to improve it. Tell me if you were buying candles, what kind of things you would want to see in it. That would be really helpful, because I know what I want in candles, but I'm not buying them, I'm selling them. So yeah, especially the guys, because I don't really know what guys like in candles, if guys even like candles at all. So yeah, that's my life. Look, I even have some examples. They've got really, really long wicks at the minute though, but they're just tiny ones. I just make nice little ones, and they smell pretty, which is nice. So yeah, I'm gonna leave now because I'm guessing this has been a really long video. I don't even know how long it's been. So I'm really sorry that I've not made a video. I've been stupidly busy and had lots of personal crap going on. So I will try and make another video next week, but I am literally up to my hair follicles in assignments and dissertation.